Hey guys, it's Mahel here, and today I'm going to be reacting to my final year autumn semester grades which I received only a couple of days ago. And this is massive because this is one of two of the last results I'll ever receive at the University of Nottingham, as I'm not going to be continuing here after my undergraduate degree, and I am in my final year of that undergraduate degree, being BSc Management, by the way, if you're new here. And honestly, I need to get a 2-1 overall, so you can imagine just how important these results are. They don't really weigh 50-50 in terms of semester 1 and semester 2, because for example in semester 1, so I'm talking about autumn semester, there were assessments that counted, for example, towards 30% of the module rather than 50%, whereas there were other assessments which counted towards 100% of the module, some being 10 credits, some being 20 credits. So I don't have a clear idea of where I am now. However, it's given me a better idea of where I'm headed and what I can potentially do. And like I say, I really need to get a 2-1 because I want to do a master's at a top 100 university. University of Nottingham is a top 100 university. I don't want to stay here, so I'm going to change university, but I need to make sure that it's either roughly the same or better. So by roughly the same, I mean, for example, let's say Nottingham is 99th in the QS World Rankings. I wouldn't mind going to, for example, the University of Leeds, which is 92nd in the QS World Rankings. And then by much better, I'd mean like King's College London, which is around 30th. Before we do get into the video, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed already, then make sure to click the subscribe button and click the bell to turn all post notifications on so that you don't miss out on a single video as soon as it goes live. Also, if you have a burning question that you want to ask me, whether it be about your personal statement, applying to university, or anything else, and you want direct access to my messages to ask me these things, then make sure you become a channel member today for £5 a month. This will also grant you access to exclusive perks such as being able to add me on platforms such as Origin, PlayStation Network and more. Some people like direct access and do message me on Instagram, so if you want that, then make sure to become a channel member today. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So I do actually have my marks next to me, and I did a total of 6 modules actually for autumn semester, and some of them are still ongoing this semester as well, the spring semester, whilst others finished in the autumn semester as they were only 10 credits. And from the 10 credit ones, I've actually done quite well. And not only that, from the 20 credit ones, I've also done quite well with one anomaly, which is alright, but it could have been better. So to break it down, I'm just going to read out the marks to you so then you know what I've got, and then I'm going to talk about them after. So in law and economics, I got 62, and that coursework was worth 100% of the module. In new venture creation, I got 66, and that assessment was worth 25% of the module. In business, government and public policy, I got 67, which was worth 100% of the module. That one I'm super happy about, by the way, because I am applying for a public policy degree at multiple universities. And so to get 67 in a public policy related module is really good, as once I update my master's applications, I can say to them, look, in a public policy related module, I actually got a high 2-1, close to a first, and hope that goes in my favour, because getting the actual 2-1 shouldn't be a problem. It's getting the offers which I'm a bit worried about, but I might do a master's update video soon to let you know what's happening, as my original video does have 3,000 views and counting, so it shows that people are interested in a master's degree. So I will make a separate video talking about that more. And I'm not sure if I just mentioned this, but strategic management, I got 70, and that assessment was worth 30% of the module. Then also I got 61 in the psychology of economic and business decisions, and that's worth 100% of the module. And last but not least, in business ethics and sustainability, I got 59, which is worth 50% of the module. That being a slight problem, but I'll get into that in a bit. So I'm going to list the modules in the order that I just stated them and talk about them a bit more. So law and economics, to get 62 in this module, I was like, oh my god. It's not that it was a difficult module, it's the fact that the lecturer was so difficult to understand. So let me give you a picture. So just picture a really old person speaking really slowly, taking massive breaks, and you're doing this online. Everything is online. You're in the same room 24/7 basically. You don't really get to step out because it's national lockdown, and you are trying to learn a module in final year knowing how important it is, but you just can't. You literally cannot, because when you are watching a video back, it is so boring and so disengaging. I did actually submit feedback for this module to the university and said that whilst the lecturer was good in what he said, he was way too slow to talk, and so really disengaging. So the university does know. I don't know if they'll do anything about that, but considering that, to get 62, which is a 2-1, which is what I need, is amazing. And based on my average so far, that 0 mark is still pending, by the way, from last year. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure to click the info card in this corner where I talk about my second year final semester marks, and you'll get an insight into that. But consider, with that 0 pending, I do need an average of 62 this year to get a 2-1 overall. So to start with, the 62 bang on is pretty decent, especially considering it's worth 100% of the module, so I know that I'm getting somewhere. Next, new venture creation, 66, worth 25% of the module. I'm happy with this. The reason being is because for this we had to do a 1-minute pitch, a business pitch, basically talking about what we could do within our means around us. We were in national lockdown at the time as well, so it's not like you could go out and start actually selling things. You just had to pitch a business idea that would be feasible within your own means, and you could start for £50 or less. So this was really difficult because it wasn't the actual idea that was hard, it was getting it all into 1 minute or less. I had to speak really quickly for this, and considering I spoke really quickly and presentation was one of the marking like points, to get a 66, I'm like, okay, fair enough. And considering it's worth 25% of a 20 credit module, if I can keep it up in that module where I'm getting 65 or above, for example, overall, then it will have quite a big impact on my overall grade for the year and ultimately my degree classification, which is what you love to see. Because like I said, I'm trying to get an average of 62 or above so that I get 2-1 overall. Next, business, government and public policy, 67, worth 100% of the module. I am so happy with this. I was not expecting 67. Like, I knew that I could do a decent piece, but I did not think it would be 67 worth, being my best 100% module from the autumn semester. So to see that, I was really happy, and especially considering I am applying for public policy master's degrees at different universities. For example, I have a application into King's College London for public policy. I have one into Sheffield. I'm putting one into Leeds for public policy as well. I think they call it something like social and public policy, MA. And also other universities, I'm applying for public policy. If they don't have public policy specifically, then I'm applying for international development, which is kind of similar, but also not. But to show that in a business, government and public policy mark that I've got 67 is really good, and I can be like to these universities, look, in the module where it matters the most and that is most relevant to your degree, bearing in mind that I didn't do politics, I did the best so far. Which hopefully will say to them, you know what, I think this guy will be really suitable for our course and we'd like to offer him a place on the master's degree in September. That is what I'm hoping for, because like I said, it's not getting the 2-1 that's going to be so difficult, it's getting the offer in the first place. Because once I have an offer, I know what I need to do. It's that psychological kind of thing where someone says to you, right, if you do this, you win this. Right, and then you know that what you could get if you do that thing, versus if someone told you nothing, you'd be like, nah, you know, you'd palm it off. Versus if there's a clear target, you'd be like really determined and on it, basically. So I'm just happy with that. But like I said, I will make a separate video talking about my master's degree and providing updates. Next, strategic management. So I got 70 and that was worth 30%. This was group work, really solid performance from my group. but also myself. I was responsible for the first section and editing the video together. Maybe it's just my YouTube editing skills that got us such a high mark, you know. That is a first, but I'm not going to complain. I'm not even going to make any jokes because I'll just take it at face value, no questions about it. 70 is really good, especially in 20 credit module, because like I said, it's worth 30%. So in the other 70%, if I got, for example, let's say 64, 65, then again, that is going to bring my overall average up quite a bit. And it means that in other modules such as law and economics and business ethics and sustainability, which I'll get into in a bit, if I don't do as well, it's alright because it balances out. Obviously I want to try and do the best that I can, but also it's nice to have a bit of balance in case you need it. Next, I'm going to talk about the psychology of economic and business decisions. Now, I'm actually happy that I got 61 in this. You might be thinking, Mahel, why are you kind of happy with low 2-1s and whatnot? Firstly, it's a mixture. There is a couple of low 2-1s and a couple of high. So like I said, it's a bit of balance. But secondly, I had no idea what I was talking about in this module. We had to talk about like public goods game and other kind of psychological theories, and me having never done psychology before in terms of business, I was thinking, right. So it took quite a lot of Google scholaring, reading up and trying to understand what I'm talking about. When I literally was about to submit my work, I was like, have I got this confused? I really had no idea and no way of checking, so I submitted it as it is, and turns out I somehow got it right and pulled off 61, which is a 2-1. So I won't complain about that. The only thing I will complain about is that the mark took over a month to get back to us later than it should have. So at the University of Nottingham, they're only supposed to take 3 weeks to get your mark back to you, but it took nearly 2 months in total. I know the lecturer was going through problems, but the lecturer was able to basically take a break to himself as he wanted. However, if it was a student in the same situation, it's not as easy, and that's my problem. I mean, fair enough, he had to take some time to himself, but why is it more difficult for students? That's a discussion for another day. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about business ethics and sustainability, where I got 59 in a assessment worth 50% off the module. This is a bit concerning, but at the same time not so concerning either. This was the only module where I had an exam. I know it's a coursework type of exam, but the point is it was still an exam where I had no idea what I was going to talk about until it was released, and I only had 48 hours from the release date to complete it. So I wasn't able to do as much prep in advance. And to get 59, firstly it's like, why couldn't you just put it as 60, you know? That one mark, literally every single mark for me this year, especially in a 20 credit module, makes a difference in getting that 2-1 overall. And secondly, because it was the only exam of the entire year, and in the course of modules I did better, I'm hoping that for the second half of it, so the other 50% of that module, I can do better and then bring that up to a 2-1 as well. But overall, from 5 modules, we're looking at a 2-1 or first so far, with some of them not complete yet, of course, and 1 module, a high 2-2 so far. Literally, it's a borderline 2-1, I believe they call it at the university, which isn't bad, but it's a bit disappointing, because if I got 60 or above, literally that 1 more mark, it would have made all the difference. And considering it is a 20 credit module, I don't want to flop this, so I know that I need to focus on this module specifically for the spring semester in order to get that 2-1 overall. But that basically sums it up for my final year autumn semester grades, and I've talked about everything there is to talk about on that. However, if you want to see any other videos, such as me talking about my master's degree applications or my plans for the rest of the final year, then let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to consider those ideas. I do want to start uploading again. I know I keep saying this, but there really isn't much to upload right now. I don't want to give you a vlog every single week, multiple times a week, of me just sitting at a desk on Microsoft Teams. I'm not that person. If there is anything you want to see in particular, do let me know in the comments below. But that has been it for the video, guys and girls. I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope it has been informative. If you did, then make sure to leave a like, comment below and subscribe, and click the bell to turn all post notifications on so that you don't miss out a single video as soon as it goes live. Make sure to also become a channel member for £5 a month only, as this will grant you access to exclusive perks such as being able to add me on social platforms such as Origin and PlayStation Network, but also being able to ask questions to me directly via Instagram DMs, whether it be about UCAS, A-levels, university or something else. I will be able to offer this advice if you are a member. But once again, I've been Mahel, talking to you about my final year autumn semester grades, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.